As of recently, the fighting community, be it professional wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, judo, jiu-jitsu, or any other combat sport, the lines are starting to blur a bit. There have been multiple crossovers to the other leagues in an effort for fighters to get that dough and test their skills. But recently, something absurd happened. Keep watching till the end to find out. What are we talking about? The mixed martial arts scene is spreading far and wide, and while the MMA community is happy about the fact that the martial arts are being propagated and that more people become students of the art, that the volume of fighters and events increases, so does the marketability, pay, and of course quality of the skills. But this though, the event we're talking about, got a bit too bizarre. Basically, a couple weeks ago, an MMA promotion based in Poland conducted the first intergender fight in the history of mixed martial arts. And not was this also bizarre, this was just straight out unfair because of the weight differential. The 140-something pound female fighter had to go up against a 185-pound monster of a man. Does that sound normal to you? And as expected, what went down in the octagon wasn't to anyone's surprise. The female fighter was battered when she was pushed up against the cage and eventually knocked out. This bout was between fighters Ula Siakits and Peter Muaboy Lasowski, who secured a first-round TKO victory in one of the two intergender fights on the MMA VIP 3 card. The booking and execution of the bouts between a man and a woman was something that really riled up the MMA community, bashing the organizers, especially regarding safety concerns for the fighters. How the event went down. What got people really talking was how brutally the event unfolded. A video of the match spread on social media, which sees the pair opening the first round, where they're gauging each other and sizing each other up. However, Muaboy lands a solid bunch of punches on Siakic's face before she reorients herself and shoots for a takedown, only for it to be stuffed in a brutal fashion. Muaboy goes on to flip Siakits on her back and proceeds to apply top pressure, pinning her down. Although she attempts to fight back with a flurry of punches to the male fighter's head, he simply responds by doing the knee on belly, which effectively immobilizes her. And then he proceeds to deliver a series of blows to her face. The referee was to come and stop the fight, as Siakits was unable to move, much less put up a defense. The referee then called a stop to the contest and declared the win to be Muaboy, the one who was wearing some eccentric eye makeup. Several people have shared the video on Twitter, immensely criticizing the event organizers for allowing the bout to take place. How is this sanctioned? This is horrific, wrote one. While other spectators were just saying screw you to the organizers who allowed this to happen in the first place. Public reaction. The female fighter, Ula Siakits, who is professionally a female arm wrestler and fitness enthusiast, was no match for Piotr Muaboy, as the crowd naturally agreed on. Muaboy, the self-described 185 centimeters of pure sex, was very joyously celebrating his victory, and it was an easy win. Why wouldn't he? After initially testing one another with a series of range-finding jabs, Muaboy started to land heavier bombs with an alarming volume, and then he stacked Siakic's takedown, flipping her. It was at this point that MMA veterans and fans had felt that the game was over. The International Mixed Martial Arts Foundation, IMMAF, have strictly and harshly condemned what unfolded in Poland. Media coverage has brought our attention to an intersex MMA bout that took place in Poland over the weekend. IMMAF CEO Dinsign White said in a statement, "Although neither the promoter nor competitors have any association with IMMAF as the international governing body for amateur mixed martial arts, I feel it is important that I state our position." He continued to say that the IMMAF vehemently disagrees with this intentionally scandalous form of entertainment, which essentially misrepresents the sport of MMA or puts at risk people that it values, like the women competing. He made it clear that it is in no way acceptable that women and men compete against each other in the game of combat sports, the main reason being safety, but also integrity, fair play. There's no way this can be endorsed, stressed the CEO. Has this happened before? The answer is yes, in a much more disturbing way than this one, if we're honest. That intergender fight went down in 2020 between professional MMA fighter Darina Madziuk, who competes in the 135 division, fighting at 139 pounds at the time, who went head-to-head with YouTuber Grigory Kistyakov, who came in at 529 pounds for this exhibition clash with Madziuk. But this had a different result than the aforementioned bout. While he initially tried to use his humongous size advantage, bear-hugging his opponent, his sheer size and reach advantage couldn't get him by for more than a few minutes in the octagon. Madziuk, who competes at bantamweight, quickly took over the fight with her elite striking. At one point, it seemed like Kistyakov had taken the upper hand after pinning Madziuk up against the cage, using his body weight to basically just smush her. But the referee stepped in and separated the two, and it didn't take the pro mixed martial artist too long to get herself out of trouble, and she started landing a devastating volume of headshots that packed quite a bit of power. A well-timed right cross finally rocked Kistyakov, and after taking some vicious blows by the pro, the referee eventually stopped the contest for from ensuing any further. While we're still unsure which promotion the duo were fighting for, it hasn't stopped MMA fans, experts, and veterans from chiming in and commenting on the fight. Footage of the strange matchup spread on social media like a frenzy, and people didn't quite know how to feel about the event, as it had mixed reviews. Some hyped up the event and praised the duo, while others, including UFC referee Mark Goddard, bashed the event heavily. "This is what we're dealing with in 2020, Goddard said. "This is what we are fighting against, as the parallels and negative connotations are continually drawn." He made a pretty valid point, saying that this is what MMA looks like to outsiders and spectators, and in his words, it's shameful, sickening, abysmal. The co-main event at MMA VIP 3. And if you're thinking one event was enough absurdity for one night, we're afraid you're mistaken. Of course, the card had to feature a co-main event to sell the card effectively, and they've used the intergender theme as a proper gimmick, milking it to the bone. The other intergender match featured a bout between Michael Przybylak, also known as Polski Ken due to his weird synthetic plastic Barbie doll appearance, going up against Victoria Domzalska. Polski Ken won in the first round when Domzalska was unsuccessful in defending herself from punches and forced the referee to step in and call the fight off. The decision to have two intergender fights was criticized by fans, with some recounting the event as a festival of embarrassment. Some said it just felt wrong on the inside to watch it, and it surely makes sense why. It's like throwing meat to the hounds. What do the fighters themselves have to say about this? If you're actually serious about this sport, especially when considering it as a career, knowing how brutal it is, you would care about the longevity of your body and your health. If you take unnecessary damage, your career will be over before it even starts to progress. And in this case, whatever motivation you may have as a fighter in this instance, it just isn't worth it, not even the money. But Yulia Siakic, who competed against Piotr Lisowski, has come out in a post-fight interview sharing her thoughts on the embarrassing loss and confirmed that she is in good shape and healing. In a video she shared on her Instagram, she said, "I am very dissatisfied. It didn't work out as I wanted. I am disappointed in myself. Unfortunately for now, I still have those negative emotions." She also revealed that she was surprised that the referee ended the bout. She stated that she had been hit harder and heavier before, and that if she could withstand those, she could withstand these too, easily going into the third round. She also says that she regrets the fight stopping at that stage. However, in the caption of the post, she admitted that she knew what she was getting into and that she isn't too keen on fighting men again. She added that she was waiting for some interesting suggestions, and I will continue to develop, and uttered the classic lines, "What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Next adventure and new experience," all that jazz. While you may argue that the general nature of evolution is scary, the evolution of this sport is even more so, especially when you look at the absurdist notion of events like these happening. But well, you can only hope it stops before it gets out of hand. And that's all for today, folks. We hope to see you in the next video. Until then, ciao.